Yemo akwaba ediba a punch jumadi so our Kessben television. We're also live on Kessben radio. Accra 92.9, Kumasi 93.3. Enyumbre yewe se na wachi May bosume 12 day eden ena Ghana sisi ekoso. Nititru edese proposal a Ghana Water Company Limited and Electricity Company of Ghana and the allied service providers what they are called to PURC enim se one share na one approval for tariffs increases for 2022 and beyond. Increases our proposal to be a 334%. It be a 148%. It be a 113%. It be a 48%. And it be proposed 37%. PURC for edge agenture e de fi Ghana for enchain. Sir a civil society organizations, institutions, individuals. Enyumbre ebaja for etnasi. Yehwese proposal wode akoto PURC for NMCCA. Ghana for be emotions ena discuss. Was here dispassionate discussion and I say was here the emotions and discuss this issue. Now proposal wode akoto PURC enim say PURC for and consider reasons woma enyumbre yebehwe say are we being blackmailed as Ghanaians into accepting the proposed tariffs and now say the reality check and say ya accepting proposals we are near the bebre enye papa enyumbre wadwen kire onsusie wasem bisa same enebeye on this all important issue ebeka ewo punch jumadi so our Kessben television and of course on Kessben radio. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. Wait me at the wajenche unsusie ana se wasimbisa abajumadi so 0551 599933 or 0551 444933. Just send us a text message or a WhatsApp message. Na yakenkan amawiase afana nyina enso so ate. Yede no to nchen a enwumbre yasan atnasi ebebu nkompo na yahwese yede PURC for any electricity for charges wopese WGSCA ewo oman Ghana no to nchen a na yesan so ahwese transportation fares increments GPRTU for any other transport operators what the betu dwa na wochi sign any transport ministry eka efa ho na eno so akowie sen ehun sunsanso ne sen na wo emai enwumbre yatna si punch jumadi so yebehwe sa asemi na edi hu enkita ho ehun abobo na wososo wode wadwen kire unsusie ana se wasem bisa no eba yakenkan amawiase afana nyina ensoso ate edi anwumbre ye no eda edi jumai ewo Kessben television and on Kessben radio empanyimfo a woba jumadi so anwumbre. Dennis Kwakwa is the regional youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party vying for a certain position in the upcoming regional contest. Oba ibebisa na wachim. Captain John Kwame Jabari, retired, is NDC vice chairman hopeful for the Ashanti region. Enyumbre we are privileged to have him. Yɛne no ɛbɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ anwumbre na sɛne yɛdi kan aka wadwenkyerɛ wo nsusie no wasɛm bisa wode ba na yɛtoato adwen ɛde afa ho. Captain retired John Kwame Jabari memwadwo na abusuafoɔ nso so yɛ wobɛba wane so kakra de ama me.
Oh, okay.
Bɔkɔ deɛ
Obia bɔkɔ.
Edo ɔbɔ ade ase ɛno nti wo nso so anwumbre a wotie yɛn a wosan ɛhwɛ yɛn wadwenkyerɛ wo susuyɛ anaa wosim bisa no sɛn ɛne tie. Test line is 0551 599933 or 0551 444933. Just send us a message. Na yɛnto ato adwen ɛmfa ɔman baako paa yɛwɔ yɛman Ghana yɛnto ato adwen ɛmfa omidin ɛde Ohene Gyan. Lawyer, thank you, and I will say thank you too. Wotie a very interesting story. General Mosquito, the General Secretary of the NDC, Asiedun Ketia, yana oni ehye ewo platform we eswa. Na what is the okay? It is like this.
There was a garment factory that specialized on the production of underwear. At the close of business every day, the manager realized that there were shortages in the products. So the most obvious thing he decided to do was to conduct very intrusive searches on the employees. But this did not lead to finding the solution. So one watchman just said that, Mr. Manager, instead of searching the workers as they were going out, can we consider searching them when they are coming in? The manager didn't find it interesting to pursue that action. But somehow he wasn't getting the solution. So one day he decided to give it a try. Ladies and gentlemen, he found the solution because he realized that half of the workers, when coming in, had no panties. So anytime they work and they are going back, they will then take some of the panties, go to the bathroom, and then wear them. So the searches that were conducted as they were going out did not find anything. Each person was wearing just one panty.
Very interesting account by General Mosquito, the General Secretary of the NDC. Punch Jumadi, so Kessben Television and on Kessben Radio. Okay, so I will say very, very, very interesting story, of course. Nyakopon Asia or my Ghana. And in Bray, Wajan Chonsus here, and there was some bizarre on the issues, say Yabobo so no same, and I tell Senna Yedika can the bar, Yabekin kind of say, Afanina, and so at you, Wajan and I saw Susie, and our Simbisa and Yumbre. Bedika, I can say tariffs propose increment. Say, yeah, 133%. Say, a year, 334%. Say a year 148%, and I say percentage ben saying and yumbre also so huno wajen unsusie and was same society and transportation fare increases. Transport Ministry say won't authorize say 20% upward adjustment. Transport operators say a topetrum into what they want to. And also one sem no ye kind of saying it just say a bread and butter issue I affecting and also see a na yaka and no a home asem. The story I see doing it here the General Mosquito editor J. I also have a very interesting one. This is the illusion of the missing goat. The illusion of the missing goat. Said it here in the small town be Canada. And students mienu omoye namfofo and o decided say o pese wo ye something crazy. Enti ne wo ye ne say wo koche emponche miensa. and I watch the numbers 1, 2, and 4. Ede wo penti a ponche no ponche bako wo number no 1 just say abon paint 1 ene gu ho ena ponche ne otoso bienu yabo number 2 ene yede agu ho. The third one instead say wo be painting no 3 no ene wo painting no 4 ena wo ja sa emponche miensan e wo school compound ho. Na we na mponchi ye de obeye mponchi de uni so beja wona nan wo be hwe niema wo be say niema o campus and all that. The following day teachers and students obedru school ha mponchi na agija wona ye wo ho ne adare na say wo se hwehwe mponchi enti wo tiguma wo hwehwe mponchi anchekra ana wo konya mponchi number 1 ene ede no ebae ne chichire no ede ne boduam. One so a was such a washusha no kunya aponche number 2 and I would no ebaye. Wochin ya no kunya aponche number 4 and ye didn't buy. And a headmaster say okay. To say yenya 1, yenya 2, and yenya the 4th one. A car aponche the last one, I number 3. Into bia M1 and Shani and Chino. Wechin school ho bebia hwehwe aponche number 3 wonhuno wo yusu the whole day se wonya aponche na nya dia obeto classes so wechin the whole day wonya aponche number 3. The simple reason and say there was no third good or there was no aponche a otoso miensa enunti awoni abra na wo hwehwe aponche na otoso miensa no. One was setting up the trap no enim say emponche no eye miensa 1, 2, and 4. There was no third aponche. But school for ne school panyimfo nyina GDA say once yenya first one, yenya second one, yenya fourth one no. Eye den there is a third aponche I was say yensa ekano. Wo chin up to now me no ka say aponche number 3 wanhuno. It is because there was never a ponche number 3 in the first place. Enti enwumbre na medi jao ne se menim wabrabo no a ponche number 3 wo hwehwe wo huye. Ebia nyankopon adom waboa wo tibia bim sese. Weni nye ni nyina ho because wo hwehwe an illusionary third a ponche in your life. What should because what you say there's a third good which you are looking for, but in fact there is no third good. Be happy with your life, be grateful to the Almighty God, be grateful to Allah for who you are, and just thank you to the Almighty God. That is my story for you this evening. Stop looking for the illusionary third good in your life. Punch Jumadi and our song Egusa Uti Enwa and so and our sign Eshe our Kessben television and on Kessben radio. Captain Membra na yen shasiye and shen say transport fares and transport operators wode ebeto abontin GPRT for say wo sha ya tutu petrol and a spare pass and ma bia aka so ya tutum enti no one Ministry of Transport nke was what na say na wano ko bankrum say rate say ene de etumu enu no enwe peye ene wono be announce 20% increase. Now the ministry say enye ne kwanso ano no enti wona wo focus one disregard. But when I will operate vehicles and public transport, as also say what 20%. And no idea to see a concourse why you send a becono. A beer can set transport operators will boo embraso Ghana, say Wombra, Ghana, or see the age. A being so can say economic reality, and say Yatutu Petrum na a nema buoko srodia or right, so so what two on Yemen. Enti watuma ne kwanso ano enwumbre ye ka ne se badan san na ni dikan no ye no kre se wo vai upese akwanya ba ube vie for the first vice chairmanship position in the NDC in Ashanti region.
Miniam dawasi. Besebe dawa Kessben for asene NDC for mutie enyumri. Any Kessben for listeners na any media monitors ni siya callers ni texts ni de enyumri. Na asema obisami yeah, hopeful say akwanya ba. I think yeah, regional elections in October inti party ni BA nominations na ahonde ni wo hono na obo ade kase yenko me okofa forms no ma vie for NDC mu ni first and second. You just vie for the regional chairman to be the first no and then first to be the second.
Okay,
second.
so you go for the regional chairman,
vice chairman. What we did first now, or first vice chairman.
Okay, you toss me no second.
No second. Vice chairman. Internal credit. No credit. More sir, kunyane say me say juma.
Okay, we can only wish you the best. Of course, Sam in drew, but they drew her.
When you say Kessben for time which there's definitely you are more of the delegates of Buti Kessben on be going for the right choice, which is Captain John Kwame Jabari.
Okay. Watch it if we have brother issue on board. 20% increases our transport fares.
Was a 20% increment I didn't tawa between transport unions in any ministry. Unze what cast was so cool chikaka. Unze okay December self transport union for a call sit down striker ma Ghana for a nanti free baby omuko bia ko ejimum Ghana for no munika ni na no me kai sata na wa Accra me na me ba na mo teba na me ba Accra mu se nkofo nanti all the motorway to their workplaces. On a problem ne HRC free. Okay, beginning of December 2021, fuel prices shall see at 5 cities. In Tieko by December, now it has almost passed the 6. Now drew almost 6.65 and I drew almost 6.70. Emma Transport Union Senoko, who ministry can so the fuel prices in the corner. Say, Oman some of the tax what fuel price in the swar. They may be forced to increase transport fares. And my ministries, back and forth. And my ministry in a few more years, so I sit down strike no. And one of the darkest days in the history of Ghana, and they say drivers in our strike. Oko stations and almost football. Almost few drivers and my passengers and nanti that day no. Honor I buy say almost fuel price so by 15 pesos. You na kai buffy pa was with say Kessben for who they were 15 pesos. You know so. Transport unions for no held on till February. Omoka say no, right now there it's unbearable. And definitely they have to increase transport fares. Now I think around February they increased transport fares by I think 20%. Emma ministry I approve would increase the transport fares by 20%. But also a problem is your GPRTUs and your concerned drivers union for no. Concerned drivers union for no. Sometimes they are a little bit difficult. Most of the time, be announce increment and GPRT for heading. I be announce there. So in February, before GPRT for be announce full increment by some increasing by 30%. And need the issues before they finally approved 20%. Now moving from February to May, fuel prices have increased almost about 53%. Now that agreement in February, bank say per the way fuel prices are increasing now. Now if fuel prices increase more than 10%, they'll automatically adjust the prices. That's the agreement they had with the Ministry of Transport. Now from February to May, fuel prices have already increased 53%. Now me I be take Kessben pa na my morning show no because I say 2 days ago we invite transport union so ba mo station or Accra. Omoka said they have written letters to the ministry telling them that the agreement that we had with you in February fuel prices now they are increasing. So please, they want to have a meeting with the ministry so that they can increase the prices. Back and forth. In fact, their own words, they say, Minister they do job. Konyaba, go and come, go and come, go and come. So they were forced on their own to sit down and look at their living condition. Will be a fan go do pass 10, it be a pass 9. Spare pass inflation in there 23%. And other lubricants or motor they were forced to increase the fuel prices without the ministry's consent. But in the first place, they were looking for the minister to have engagement. Minister need a job. Into be sorry then. Transport owners, car owners, they say the pressure to them. They say fuel prices are increasing. Scar the ban. They say swat. No one for more and bar many ready. So what were they supposed to do? And as I said earlier, consent transport union the last week on bus we were increasing by what 30%. Then there was back and forth 20%. Now minister, it is illegal. How is it illegal? When my first agreement with you was that, say, if transport fuel prices increasing more than 10%, I automatically adjust my prices. You see, this goes into the point. So only MPP 4 year agreement, you must be very careful.
Okay, before I will to us if you Mamma Dennis Kwaba. Dennis Kwakwa Memo Kwaba.
Where are you so?
Nambom to say.
No, I don't remember where I'm just also where.
I will be sudden enemy your competition, but competition now we and I was there.
That's about a new youth about you. I'm a chairman. I'm a chairman.
It is a walk on
regional contest, man. Kobe.
One regional contest. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The initial win, and I mean, himself. Yes, skirmishes.
Many skirmishes. I decided to go for regional organizer.
Okay.
So, Jan, I'm saying, Jano. No shit. And I need 2 weeks crana. Regional chairman, maybe chairman wouldn't to be friend. On such a chairman to be the chairman in 2014, but and I saw shit. So, okay. And the executives in a crab or no to me, no, say women organize a academy to me. But now, friends say, why a penny? And Tinika's or Traffic Kekakaba, tournament transfer. The current executives on near Yadman and Yajobia, 1% terminal. The making trouble and was 7 will be 200 and Pesamico. And to me, see for man. Auntie, we did this in your contest in Kwana map politics, not very relevant. Let's see. Until we say, I said, the woman.
Bebaho, Mamede, we have a captain. We are back to you for your view on that. Now, that will cancel. Now agreements are no money on my previously, and it says a margin of increase, equal level be automatically they will adjust. Now say yes, I want baby a children and one jano. Say all the other transport associations and the kabum now when you say group now when you have 5 dream back when I say Sarah. And Cambomuno and my mantia senior juma now by announce on your own 20% incrementer. And no a muabum and I say in Tietia the understanding I amongst our transport unions.
Also, even before first me, before a year made day, almost I call back to the government. So based on the taxes or fuel prices, almost reduce some of the taxes on the fuel price. Emma made the president Nana Akufo-Addo Kachom, so it is impossible to reduce the taxes on fuel because they are going to lose almost 4.4 billion. And as 4.4 billion, won't be chia ejumafo eka. So their hands are tied. And I may catch you say they have written several letters to the ministry. So because your agreement that but it is a formality said you mean say or say they you agreed at a certain point. So, okay, we say 20, we say 10, we say 10, 50, you do 50, okay, 15 years. The ministry head or job. The ministry head or job, almost they are suffering. Then I'll be somewhere. But you see, the funny part is they say, when they were looking for the minister, they were not getting. But when they increase the fare, they had a minister. The minister had to respond to what they were doing. So what is happening?
Okay. What is happening? I'll come back to you. Mamin Kwakwa Dennis Kwakwa. Let me be say what is happening. Kwakwa.
Lawyer.
You have 20% increments are concerned for announce ministry ebe can say in this regard. Now call some transport stations akoye passengers any drivers anyone mate and akoye pinching ne keka ho. Ghanaians are concerned with this 20% increment. Our ministry no so say unlawful in this regard.
Lawyer me that say one of we remember chair for near before. Now one say chair because you who watch it.
And say me.
Oh, that say
any hand be can.
Na say that's all you jaw do na to. Na say so the programs na dey na do so twhwa me hu. Tia me hu.
No comment.
No comment I boy. Lawyer you can't petrol hu nsema. I do a side discussion is always complex. It's always been. And yeah, dear, wait me at Traha now. I don't say about cocoa now. I can't do it because at the end of the day, no, a commodity be a upe here, and because will be a here soon to know. And sometimes controlling prices of petroleum products and everything. The market itself, no one can say in nature is volatile. And there you can say so where near my circle so dear much as say a money more difficult to manage between December and then when sure sir bambia we are here so far what me are containing the shock of petroleum increases obi any because it's still going up. Unfortunately for you you need a lot of reserves. I bet me I can say within the time now you can have some increment in Abba, bet me a cushion so much with subsidies. Because any time be a barber tries or by adjusting on one subsidize petroleum products. And here for the qua which and here for the qua which because Sika band bit with their development or the better say school feeding or the better free education be a dear man and here for Nana some fasoro. Or the cotton petrol about Ghana filling stations necessary and talk. Na enjoy subsidy abons omo sika kakra no omo na woka enti omo na eto na chese sika nka ese de ma hia ni enjoy health insurance no ye de akoma sika ni atopeto agu ne kam eno nti duru ba bia aban no gese oyire ne tam no decide say ye mfa ye sika nyina nkoso sika fo so emom ntopeto na emom ehia fo so tweduru mo burum kakra emfa tuahye nti ade a ntumu kakra ba se de be ya nso be nya sika ya ade niam in general be benefit ahia for to a large extent enti enya akwan ye wi ase den nyina Ghana ho kire ye wo nse stella ba bia be kom mantem no stella machines go ha eye kwan sa kwan ye ahia for kwan mo fa so ko mo fom kwan dwade for fa so ko fa niam beton kwan ye wo ye potem a obi a friends ye ya ye ho betoy eno ti a bit difficult to no matter how we feel about the increment na dey do ba be say aban emia na no katanani no na ho te say de ohun ye ama so wonte ye na so nya sa na asechire ne say or a greater good for the larger population than say be dwidwi ho na sikafo benefit more than a here for here ni bi o ha ofiri mikro mampo ba kumase da kopɛ na wotwa na ase bosome eno nti say aban subsidize fuel na sa na bia ne case car wotwa na mampo to kumase 12 cedis ne ase de beko 13 cedis na aban ka se mempeso betua 1 cedi no tua 12 no na mintua subsidy na de beba ne se na wotwe bosome na wo ma kumase bi no na skani bi ade ne car free ha konkra ba 4 times na ba tua sa aka no amaskani no eno nti I think say we should be concerned because the TCC and in this car is subsidized. Now said the TB be increment kakraba first. I believe sir agreement between transport ministry and cooperative transport unions and DPRT de akeka ho. Yen sorry prekope enka se o no edin komo binti ma start me implement it. What my proposal say yen hwe se enimu no enema be stabilizer we might be forced to do this. It doesn't mean say you have been given the go ahead, to start implementing it.
Na anamontu se na o allege se ministry no mom akwanya se yenhia na yen resolve the issue na se na wo kan se ho ahia se petrol ntumu no sa aban na ntimi subsidize enti yatum so de a na se yenya akwanya engage ma yentumu a is it enye legitimate say won abehwe on calculation na wakase o yatum 20% efu say no bema yetimi operate fairly
eno ye obi oton na de bia ma ne kwan so no and decide de bebo na or head profit without looking at the burden. It is a profit na wonya no so much across fa ho at the end of the day friend say na faso ni so o chon ya adwuma so nya faso mo because say so o chana spare parts more burden. But the point is, adwuma hakura wuti modern ba ko yem fa say Kessben group of companies ni nyina wo dawe mu. Na say chief executive Mr. Kwabraka say mu hia na ye meeting. Sometimes it can take time and san monya no. And so when you are talking about a minister, if you want to engage a minister, that's a minister ni hwa and just what done it. And there cannot be so. Me jidi say e bia omo ho kire wo mo driver for omo ni hwa bia the phone timi nko ye nyina dodo no timi koma eno timi ye sure say every minute every day twema omo so ho kire wo mo is the reason why bia my friend say we hwehwe 1 week 2 weeks ye hu no ntibia ye hwe na ye hu no o ma generalize no but ene ya ye ka say no na me ni ho na me ba nje say de o ye ne nti na maba bia na dwuma me koye na ma wie na maba. Okay, but so, the point is that agreement and access from the proposal be at to table so that next up so the Bible you go back to the table, agree before you come out and announce. Your driver for be Ghana, you can 5% increment or no have between 10-15%. That than you know, yeah. And so if you sit there, now one can illegitimately one also set 20% without any real cost to discussion only ministry na here. But no one can say create problem or be you man depend be akutia 30%. What I say no
computers anything. Because when they were announced say we yen say yatum 20%.
Me tie.
Administration say yen disregard.
Me tie. In fact, not even the ministry alone. About on tell me so mon crofo na be about tell me can say oh omaka but omo twa yen can so be anye. You get it. Omo first day no announcement by some of them came out. Me tie concerned drivers union or see we there. Omu nyina na agya tum this is the first time kra na o kan mama te say we dey aka we anka say yem pene so yem pro so we dey omu nyina bo omu nyina akwaje tuma na abanka ho enu ntia besre so okoto cars kam ene na so free ho na bafie na be boy ira ko ma na ire ko market ba na o say okọ James kana nso a ebi a so no ire kasa won ti asese de no okọ market akoton ne ma no na a charge ho ebo a ne ni ko aso de ne ton so ko du market no ono so start say ne car obefa bosome ana tomatoes and cotton 2 cedis say ono so wo charge adema no nti okọ 220 no de akọ 3 cedis ti be bi bo sie nyina na etwitwa yo ho oman no na effect na e kakraka enti mesra aban at this point there ontumi nya hwe bi enwanwa de obetumi ayan so ne adaba fo besi nkonya ntem no apart because petrol no ba bi e free bar ne bo ayeden e kwa fa so ba ne bo ayeden ye beduru ha ontumi nya ho hwe enti mutua na e beto nti etumu no I think say as soon as possible ye engage you on baby pie friends say say the to fantontem the man crofon help because no matter what we do in the next 2 months maybe the me hu say ba betumi ayere o se chinchira momuntu so the menu kan na no cry between February and now prices of petroleum products in fact me cry there I noticed it from December and Ghana they always say ye wa ha no ye income ni sa enti ade ye realistic no ya impese be hu say realistic e friends be obi na trimo den and the time we had to trouble for no a omo de omo nim say ade na sabese me call filling station akobu a metwi aka me jitum say metwi omo prices the whole akono what the two anu say yakura no omo we ye bi anu nti e be stra ban say de we ye passenger maybe to me show kutu pass okwa koboma I can do that but you be plead with transporters transport union say omo so omo family kwan so ne ye betuma yentum they are not 20% no omo deserve but akwa omo fa so aye no yentum na me the status so say da bia obi asori Ghana no person to the BBM no sorry konya bonten no announcement.
I'll come back to you, Dennis Kwakwa is the regional youth organizer of the new Patriotic Party Usheno Enyumbre. El Kessben television utieno, El Kessben radio. You have said 20% increments our transportation or transport fares and a response I free Ministry of Transport as well. E by Binko Captain John Kwame Jabari retired. Na meneno entwitwe enkomo. Now Captain Yesha, as far back as early part of April and World Bank for now we share the risk and the challenges na ebe face Ghana almost economic outlook for Ghana. One and another or the MIN. You see Ghana's economy continues to suffer the impact of the pandemic as growth is yet to get back to pre-pandemic levels, and this could be compounded by the war in Ukraine. The developments are expected to raise global prices for several key commodities, including food, fuel, fertilizers, and metals used in manufacturing, adding to prior inflationary pressures in Ghana. This was given on the 7th of April 2022 by the World Bank. Meaning say clearly, almost sound this warning we say because of Ukraine any pandemic I recover. Sadly we say Adriana bo ebekosro, fertilizer bo ebekosro, fuel bo ebekosro, ebema cost of living and which abani adnade. Enti something that's yempo. Yekoye nimno ebe confronting as a nation, as a Ghana. Now we send ya petrol bo echo. Any send ya transport owners susun to mu wopesa woyeno any complain the concerns I free ordinary Ghanaians I kofa sa transported the diakoniaba eba any the impactor ewo every item I ton ewo jom and I see a ton ewo baby. Are we being treated fairly by the transport operators?
Are we treated fairly by the transport operators? I think they have been. Yeah, you see, points in this own transport operators around more. The two unions that the concern AG priority for. They have their own issues that they have to sort out. But point is that the fuel prices where it has gotten to is unbearable for them. Because last time February, that was almost like 15% or so. Per the adjustment happened, 53% increase in fuel prices. Now you see how quiet you see a very blows will come because there will be a excuse to see. Now everybody is increasing the charge according to how he or she wants it. Until we be at 5%, we also 8%. Miss you. Make assembly will be make other sister says I'm catch to me car anapa around 8. Me ba edum me do Santas driver and say oje 5 yes for no so oje 5 cedi do Santas or see ya too full price we say CNT e say oje 8 cedi
we breko onyina
but see quickly it has the effect has been felt so people osimi wa say and say to us there what or the baba that is just the joke side of it, but it's becoming serious. But the point is this one baby Drew no, why are we here? Because your classroom everybody first nobody last. Into fuel price that Ghana has seen the whole of Africa, your fuel price is the second highest. That means be the one man they are better than ours. So why is someone's own better than ours here? Because our city is the worst in the whole world. And see the American fa okay say fuel and you Ghana as kofa fra brochire no. Now I'm taking a lot of cities to go and bring it because the city is not good. That's where we are. In Togo, fuel price air better see there. The whole world is not good. But why is somebody's own better than yours? Question also bizarre no. Don't Africa only is second highest. So that means that someone's own is better than yours because Ghana is just city, is the West. And you see the point is down. Moving forward, Ghanaians need hope, and there's no hope coming. What am I saying? So like somebody must take charge of responsibility. Okay, so you say. One of the last time what he said, President and I say, Bamia and I say, Oforiata become be for economy no.
He spoke
the last time. Who?
And kind of Oforiata.
No. Okay, Japan wants him. You want to talk about Japan.
But he's
looking for a Japan now. Where we are now.
Okay, hope no na make say or address here no can say. E-levy na abano. Any other measures are buying day bano.
Other measures day.
Measures are mako no. Ujidi say there's no way I beko IMF. Ghana will build the country through some measures. And he was emphatic on the e-levy.
Lawyer.
Now, who can be coming, but I can say, Ubia Mekanshi, and he spoke today.
Ghana, when Dramani Mama, Ghana at crossroads, we are in a country. Our only exit plan is one policy: e-levy. Me as a security man, if I'm going to war, we don't have one plan. We have about 5 contingencies because. Okay, they can say that we and this for a doomsayers, a bonfire say 11 member in Juma. But the point is that it is possible that it might not work because other countries are near Juma. In Juma, what are we falling on? And I say we're just going to fall down, bam, like that. And we don't see any new ideas and our exit plan be apart from 11, you know, or they are talk quieting, we can survive on. That is where our problem is. Ghanaians are not seeing any hope. Drivers are not seeing any hope. And then inflation is 23%. Me, Oforiata say it is imported inflation. Imported from where? Russia, Ukraine, another. See, Ghana, every excuse problem there will be is Russia, Ukraine, COVID. Those are those 2 magic words. Excuse for everything in Ghana now. So that's where we have gotten to. Africa, we are failing. Omoka say, oh, before COVID, we were shining stars in Africa. So why now? Why are we at the bottom? Why are we last now in Africa now? Yes.
That's the question. That's the question.
Yes, why are we last?
Mami ko a Dennis Kwakwa ona minji. Kwakwa. Question am the man ya and say ya all can say wom say global outlook no but
besides the candidate in Ghana, yeah, the second country with high petroleum product prices. Petroleum product or maybe our parameters or allow into the country. And when to be of her, or bet me I'm a quite of crude oil, lead, and as a sulfur dose. About man, what the banner will be back from. And the quality of crude oil and I do go comes to actually effective about castle pollution and budgetity. And so Ghana is also one of the best countries importing best quality crude. And maybe that is the answer he didn't know. And here crude oil be a keke edi agu your kama and kibenya there for change the EPA. But again only the quality standards authority NP and they accept to my way. Do sabi ya here for the nice and can say kofa kotobe kuma ade a de go kama o shibia lead the next of a pollute environment to the extent say yare bebre kura betumi atro from wasaboka treaty and until that's the reason and chere and no chere amamu bone and they am so pede for chess aba betumi decide akofa biaba ba nya no ne de boy de to so miru exit plan o ma no ye duru e de ne ya exit we are not exiting anything economic management there and ye ka ho asem na se na NDC fonya akokodo no mo ka bia ya mbusa me ho na misuma Ghana se so MPP ye na anye ya enti oje for be ye hwan in terms of NDC. Economic management. I'm not talking about so be person of power. If it is talking about the party be person of power, the MPP no NDC between aba. But in terms of economic management, see a rescue Ghana's economy. Track record ben NDC more extension between anything better than the MPP between. And so I only pray it every day. Say ya me my adom no boy. Na situation ye wuro mo ha your friend said ya hu here but they be free. And the MPP because the free one the MPP na che so man ye sorry bio. ano de eya monte saa de na se ko mo track record bi anu ma we mu a obetra na military ma say they work contingency plan. Now the whole world is being managed under contingency plans because obi anu ho betumi de ne sense no bua say obetumi a projecting good fortunes for omo in the next 6 months. And we think say Ghana there yenka covid asem Ghana there yenka Ukraine Russia war adentia most of oil products so Europe most gas pipelines supply the whole of Europe from Russia and Eco. And there's some to call we and then nipa bebre gas supply is being cut. To the extent that Russia for say America better or Russia this all the $6 never the crew message on currency. You see how Russia is strengthening itself economically to make sure so on the currency not gaining strength against the dollar and the pound sterling. What say Ghana the main kabi? Say they are affected. We live in Omaya, Mama Mubone, power. Nobody I say the youth of this country, nobody be high and creating coca. Or my way, Musari, I'm so calm and croma, calm and this first I don't move. Peja kwame nkruma no bana na kwame nkruma Ghana moja padenya mo betoni muko fa adebi am friend diversity companies na nkruma abomode asete apa ese mo boa na nke revival ne produce ne ma wo ma we moto ni nyina de ma na kura du nsawam country wo fai na kura du ajima runs na kama sem probo no man kama sem take your time so the effect of that is that and nema na nka kwame nkromata we produce o man we mu na nka ese moto asoma factory ni akese no wo be to de and it has taken the government to be say se betumi afiri sa ahohia we mu nema ni bebre na so de yehia sika ekokra free we ase se de be we ase other places a nema bo kosoro fruit and we ase kra ade bo kosoro shape no kra de ba no o timi to bo no over 500%. And until the penny be do I just saw the home born at Tony Manaso. Yem, one district one factory, most sorry, a carbon conanca factories in Nash. A carbon cocrananki to me, and produce Bibia woman. But yeah, no, so I don't know recovery plan. If you didn't see one, I'm giving you one way I pass ye Ghana for free. If you are able to reduce our import, near reduce import, near your production, yeah, buy no. You can't Ghana for 4 years, but my Ghana than heaven. But I said the Ghana food be sick one pa. See, you know, threatening your honey first one. That should be a coup for no be president, but we have a better Ghana. You know, the beginning, and no more support to COVID by me and COVID as a Mr. COVID. I did go gays and then a Melinda gays. I worry all to Ghana. I say COVID any impact. What are you saying?
COVID ne go on.
Don't you know? Don't you know? Who knows
facts and
the fact is that I'm going to shut them now. Or I go say comedy no Ukrainian no Ukrainian will be back up as soon as go back up as well and they go away.
Yes. Refuge weekends holiday.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is not never shall you. Never shall so the only idea NDC from person better say. You better say COVID will impact. Now COVID ni impact and captain. I work could draw to face it through. I got you to through be some kuno COVID now shut them. You can't say the one said the one you don't know ma one to move and we think any effect. And never nan cabet me here within a certain period then just now one cast was save be and then cabet spending. You spent those man hours indoors. One cast one make any profit. And we think say and only a kickable my GDP. And the case economy now grow, economy no grow by this percentage. But from one friend said there, one case you could have farmed, you could have done some other things.
But the point I now making is say, despite sad the money, you know, and then other African
countries have done nothing. I don't know why. Other African, my example, country better survival.
About Togo.
Oh, I didn't Togo.
The fuel price is better.
What is better? And another example say. Tell me, say you have a bottle of petrol from Togo, Ghana, DNA. Let's go and measure the quality standards. Never catch them say be away near the If you want cheaper things, we can simply have them. The do baby, I think be a man also might have to strategize. That's why be a man for arguing by you say be a to be maybe we resolve to some of these things. Since you ever be other, but unless it's all maybe just a comparison, or can be what try in a year. Another thing is say. One kasa economic growth one obusia na make can be an anka moko afu 1 year 1 year fu o we fi say
one kasa one save hwe and then what when you to E11 say E11 kwan the only plan. E11 will not save Ghana from economic mess in Ghana, but E11, whether you like it or not, is going to help us overcome some challenges. That's our challenges here for challenges. I was say, well, a captain, Nisika, I want him to retire as a captain, Nisika also pa. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't know. Army officer, or captain, or officer. What I say, NT, or no, who he any asem to betra na onto you here who say college of Mahama so be there. Obi oba yama no sebosne. What me yama na kadompe. Odompe no afifim. O say sankofa na dompe na aka no oba be ndey. Omfa bo mo boso. Enta free ni nyina. And so where we are, I believe say oman we nye kasa Keno for yata na se ba mi na se kufu ado be kasa na be joma ehia bra panifo so mo hye dem odwene, and that is what is happening. I believe say abotra Ghana fo anya ma he no within the next quarter, the next 2 quarters nyame ye adoma e be start hu a kind of revival. Ne nyina no ade ba kwa truly me party ye mistake during these hard times. The kind of projects are here or my we ma yenshu magana for us, and despite that's what we are doing. That's why we are falling short. Don't betra no makasa na exception koso road construction of schools, everything that you had development say you constructed. Go and see the koso. But because you say you have Ghana for how much we don't tell them. But at the end of the day, when you say you free Ghana for you free. Mind this if you imagine some of the economy by campaign. I told you they were my way. Mokache say homegrown policies, homegrown, and I must say assistance say, and I am for the dictating on Meba or man a question sent you with a crowd on common on Cordian by. They want to be the better Ghana for say bet to me, na ye ngua. I am for form fast one to some among farmer drama hammer say. Then in idea to knock up $100 million, but yeah, Eddie am reaching chinka. And so at the end of the day, yes, I'm quite IMF. Also, Munsum, only nipa. Baby, I drew. And yet the Biani, the Bosnia Bobachich, kakra. Yentity and Mobrim. My whole demonstration, Modia court, and a more cassette here. More ya, Mahama, or one Casamundi, so the catcher Ghana for so bad power, or Berry draws a Mahama or Puscara. Or by passing bra, I can't see John Mahama bet me identity. Also, John Mahama or Puscara. No, Mahama now kwaje bribe Ford obetia puska. Escaba a consolidated funding. We that question. And so there be no bebusa me on our microphone every day. Sometimes you have to let the people know who John Mahama is. Very, very vital. Obetia hakachire Ghana contractors say why Eastern Corridor rules. Abra kwaje Ford. Eti Ghana for nyina contractors for person me adwuma pa. That is the job Mahama they want to sell back to Ghanaians. Now my friend said Ghana for pioneer but and other money so because and see under NPP and this is about 100 Kumari.
Captain
lawyer who's there? You see Ghana your problem in Nani oh adio wakaisiano. It's only MPP4 a debate no more car sempe no ashasi hey and this for you see you will not speak to the issues I can say no say four issues I can want them here four price I can want them he will not address it then he will pick John Mahama their messiah. I don't know why they are in love with that man like that. Look how John Mahama say John Mahama say then they use propaganda to dodge the issues and the questions because you are punching him with the hard questions. He's not having answers for them but he wants to do propaganda. You see one of the problems in Ghana and say he said MPP4 and you answer for more Ghana now MPP4. So what they are saying is that if they fail in the economy, that means Ghana is doomed. That's why he just said, say, economy now, not NDC for the economy. No. That is our problem. That is the problem that Ofurata is even having. Second, Ofurata to honor. Other leading members of the MPP want to have interaction with him to tell him that economy no. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. He's not even picking their call because of this. Say Nyansa, Nade, you're actually Nade, and Trinity. I actually the leading members of the MPP because he's they are calling for that. He's not picking their call. Am I lying? Me can't try it. Me can't try it. So what you know so and they didn't promise Ghana as heaven. Yet Tiana Nana Kache so within 18 months, Ghana will be transformed to what? Heaven. Ubeka say, Yakbuka say, one promise here heaven. So we promise us of what?
Okay, so about on Chrome, our
What did you promise us?
everybody. So our Kessben television, and we are live on Kessben radio. We are also live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And Captain retired John Kwame Jabari is here for the NDC. Dennis Kwakwa, regional youth organizer of the MPP for Ashanti region, is here for the new Patriotic Party. Now, ye transport fares any hon sensem. You call another sector. Let there be light. And there was ECG.
There was doom so.
Ghana Water Company Limited. And so I also on Hong Kakra. Proposed tariff increases. Ghana for BC Buwe. Once so I say yo. Some my Montia Siena PRC for my increment na ye penodia. And the more expected to say services no is going to be affected. Are we being blackmailed to accept this? And now say I will say in a dispassionate discussion of the issue at stake. Punch about for atna say sa issue we wajen chere onsusu and was sebisa on this issue no saying and etie Captain Minko onchen na yemhwe minim say we follow debates cause to propose tariffs increments are the main service providers a pese PRC for makwan na ka won approve ma won ECG Ghana Water Company Limited and allied institutions are working on. Now Ghana Water Company Limited for say will pay 334% increment. ECG say will pay 148% increment. Netco say will pay 113%. Greco pay 48%. VRA pay 37%. Now the omoka NSA say yamwa na PRC for ma won rates beboa wona enya de a obetimi ama constant supply of one services because the shortfalls beba and sha the dum so beba and sha the so ayenya flow beba and ready we beba ebia ka say adan na wonya ma PRC for enya consultation na won fa ne wosusu say ebeboa emba na wo boyen sa entinani ibisusu say asem no ne ka na omo ka yenti o na yenti a go from pon e de asem beba Captain sisen
lawyer as your lawyer no say the case too anymore so look at what also a background to the issue who's you know more by me far Ghana no na Soviet who say the way our lighting system here, lighting system economy, there was a need to bring private partnership into US crackers. So there's a need to privatize our electricity production. Ama yenya buying crash here, kakra, emumbabe jai no mode de, omode PDS de. Buy one of the scams of buying can conduct its own scam on its people. Now, honor ECG for problems here. Now, omedi PDS, omedi ECG ma PDS no. EPDS for chassis EGG SKB. Now, before a buy terminating contract no, when PDS couldn't meet the conditions precedent no, omo terminating na PDS wage almost 200 million Ghana cedis in a terminating contract no. Assets in there. ECG phone teaming is scanning free PDS for them. Ama a buying exclusively from me and friends formed PDS no. Till now no teaming is scanning free PDS. Ama Ghana ama ECG for Lucy $190 million nanka US for the boy energy sector. Awede a peja kosoro. In there today till now even a single mosquito said that he was involved in this PDS scandal. Now, okay, yeah, nyamba by me power no. I think in 2018, omo ka say pay their campaign promise no omo pese omo tete fuel prices so kakra into omo te 17.5 for residential customers, then 30% for businesses, then 10% for what? Mining companies in 2018. But do you know one of the problems with what an electricity is every time we don't pay the actual cost of what you are supposed to be paying, the generating cost, no? Always the government, MHR lesser. Then this government came and reduced it again. That's where one of our problems also started again. It's moving forward, no. Now the cost is the gap between production and actual amount each year. No, it was becoming bigger and bigger. And the debt side, then is becoming bigger and bigger, and it's creating a very big hole. You see, an hole, no, then it has exploded, and there's nothing we can do about it. Now, 2020 elections. Before we go into the elections, you know the free water needs free electricity by just to win political points or just to win power. Go buy free light, free electricity. Emma ECG for the water company boka e the Canadian to honum. Emma after COVID no, the COVID what levy by so levy no, the baby accuracy kana. A Canadian boy no for free water and free electricity no. So they to the chia a cano. Tia ban wake us some more chair dia or so show muyi. Almost so much water, almost light. We almost say the COVID levy aba. The chia COVID levy, we have been paying COVID levy for almost 2 years. That 2 years, no, they have not even settled one Ghana city debt of ECG to the point that they have been collecting that debt this until now. No, they have not been. They have not settled one debt keke.
The ECG for no beka say etua ska na omo any Ghana water no mo ka che sa ban etua ska mo no omo
join news. ECG for say abide them 16.7 billion Ghana cedis. 16.7 billion Ghana cedis whatever. And then we interview PRO of PURC. No castle where all political parties have been using ECG and water for political points. They fail to adjust the actual cost. I was saying, consumers say each year, and the only government who have been fair and has been sincere to the PRC was Dramani Mahama. Oh, Castle, the way we are going, if you are holding on to the cost and letting them pay lesser, they are going to create a bigger hole, which you now go and download the whole problem onto them for them to pay at once. And the problem was saying right now, I'm seeing 148%. At a go. Nanka, as a economist, come on, every year we increasing in kakra and kakra and kakra. The effect will what not be felt. They say they are taking a one large sum, or else we are going to have doom so. For the past two years, I mean, I say every day they do me light.
There's a
yes, Kokobi area.
There be a doom light.
They be doom light. Say we mosquito be chum no more doom light. No,
I say don't get here.
Me say I mean, as I said, say mosquito be a chum per wedding, no more doom light. But the issues are that production costs and the actual cost, you know. The gap is becoming too much, and we can't sustain it.
Okay.
We have to pay for it. Then also the investments that they have made in the power sector. Who say as a Ghana so demand for power say the air cost or some change cables near the adeno cost near the air cost. And also ECG for almost the car that we pay loans. So if we don't increase it, they can't pay those loans for us to have power. That is where we have gotten to now.
That is
Ghana for also 148%, almost 100% of the cost. What I was saying, almost something percent. But Omeka also say a proposal, a proposal at that table. So almost so they are going to absorb another cost. Number Ghanaians, you know, are free because as of now, no, Ghana is unbearable to live in.
Okay.
Public sector workers pay have increased by 7%. But inflation is almost 23%. Fuel prices have gone up. Everything has gone up. So if they add this burden to workers, I don't think it will be very fair to.
Okay,
workers.
so before I call Wunya Kwakwanchen, we'll say from the summer working in a fair and legitimate. Say a better adjustment.
Yeah,
While Croyans also say economic situation, my focus, tuma, and also the situation be unbearable. So,
we cannot take the amount that they are proposing. We can't take they can propose it. But me idea the kind is nanka yearly ke on kakran kebet me do sai kebet ma bridge gap no. But all the more one last sum. So you are increasing almost 100%. It will be unbearable for Ghanaians.
Okay.
With this economic hardship inside.
Bedas besan ba wonchen. Captain retired John Kwame Jabari and I will share no etieno enyumbre. Kwakwa.
Well,
ECG Ghana Water Company anyone our can propose tariff increment.
Ghana Ghana. Yeah, na toda only NDC for cancer be on here. Na nyame amo abotrada bia no bepa NDC for de bia ye free magana for bia sabe kwase asem
Na fear chaka
ana me say ade bia wo de be magana for a ye free bia no ayen kwase asem President Kofa health insurance buy de sinipa bi betua bi ntua bi na kwase asem okofa capitation eba asem kra no bi nko school free me ntua school fees omo kasa tia so ye tua man private public school ntua private ye kofa school fee din ba ye ade bi a Ghana ni nya ne free education ba ye o si wo eba ma school asai ye bon na no wo ye di nsu abase njare free o say political me ho so na adware won to abura say ade no politics no on to ma ye ntine bi ade o njare sanso no adware ni free na do si na political gimmicks. John Mahama can say Ghana 4% that can near we need to pay realistic prices. And that no set our price or certain that way. So realistic price in a way. And what was the effect? We ended up paying huge sums for doom so. Then he paid the sumo so near to Kaniabu. What the sumo swate who be on Puma or Dabontain said the Bayam from other farms. So still another Mahama to Tum say you realistic prices if you wanted to enjoy electricity. No, but one I discuss no. What can people in this? I'm quoting John Mahama. I don't know on this in the other. You put the car some man I'm watching them other. Nipano Adiane, Monton Crane, Nagana phone, Thomas in Tabby package the Abbey can't have some son of Musu. 2020 14th August. Ena ECG ne Ghana Water for the catcher say a car by do or more. Yes, Ghana for njare free. Yana kania mo free abetua. In 2021 June, ena Honorable Cecilia Dapa ebe catcher say ye twa sikanum 500 million out of 896 million. E chesa aban do mo kakakra. But eno nchesa aban ntwa biu. Anasa aban ntwa biu. Ohene and I too. ECG ne Ghana Water for the catches here or more pay to move 148%. In him saying idea sabi a toss. And toss because how many times no one call it for Saudi we? And we name the entire one so there be almost pay increment to almost over 100%. ECG that ben will bet me a catch some problem to better. Honorable Matthew Poku Prempe Dr. Napubayi. Mwadia na mo friend dum so e ka chem si eduma siesie be si na free ta o sesa pylons ane wires free voter region e be twa mu a chimota da so na mekrum ha juso ayeyin e kosen na 2 years ni ye dum kan ya 20 minutes na wusu o so ho kire 2 years so de kasem meanwhile we were defending 5 years in dum so na mo to ma we mo se Ghana for mo ye bi maye na mo se mo ye bi ma Ghana for that time na nkrofo nkwa adwuma nkrofo wonim say ye ba dum light 2 days into oye barber oye hairdresser oye hwahwa wo ton pure water kwan onko because onya kanea emfa nya hwe eno na mo defend this amamu ne ye santo amoso and now better ye dum light 10 minutes 20 minutes ye change switch power cut e bi a fluctuation bi aba usu the entire yentume ne PURC for nya adwene se o metiase da se Ghana Water ne ECG for benya sa adjustment ne say your country we no ma we etim no ye nyo ma na asabi obi a ho eso no ho so and these are essential products aban no po you have to make sure your people enjoy
Say ntimi nso bo 100% me anum so. Eno politics. Say ntimi ntua kanea bo 100% ntimi ye na kanea. I think say you nyina ye advance for. If say ECG be prove a bit of efficiency. Kanea the ntia ma ya de kadada ne say. Ya de crude oil na generate. Na crude oil na ye kra. Ye kwa mostly acha 90 days so kutuaka. ECG for to be tracker kroma man crofo enjoy light 1 year na meter krenfa bi nkobo. And when this for or your TJ the meters be 500,000 be go some so the GMP dia or the kobo how ECG for credit they don't know about those meters. Do you know how difficult it has been for ECG in Ashanti region to capture all those things onto their billing system? And no matter how kabidi. O kabidi. Saa niyama no na ese ta ho machi nyese politics ne say chinchira ye nto niyama mu na eche say a realistic politician no. Edu ba bia adwuma na nkasa betumi improve in efficiency a ebe buy. Most of the things are here solved there in the energy sector by reconstructing the wires and yes some wires old wires in there. Then you na better losses no so. So mo yiro mo eboa na ba we ba esika dia ma ECG for to expand the bini. Yaba you over generators and transformer kra no and now we are na esa kufu ado bai omomuska toya to the sense ko agogo ha all the 36 communities are now agogo any light yaba ya twe light akoma bia politics we are there this for my baby. The difficulty in management of electricity is abai decided say or expand there. Normally no crown consult via company they say baby a person with the light come the light to power no yina everything use but because of politics not say on the people but because any person at all what Ghana krum Ghana ni here ni okoto nsuo we oba krum no be no bottle back one na agene vat street light be ni na cross no o tua bi e be kra na ade ansa no ba na ni ahu light obeto ade keke e wa agugudwem okomangara what you say enti eduru ba bia aban no so bibi hye wo se bo mode na nkrofo enya eno nkire se chinchina wo ntua ni nyina aka ne ara aban na de ka ndidi yin ka mo bagu ga na mo dwene ka ho we believe say PUS ade we yanka mo kan drop say ento asum ma PUS force so mo so anya ade ebetumi akotua sa 148% na mo bia ensuo no a emma no o ma di ka je increment mfie bebere atwam a still aye improvement bia kakra o manya no mama yehu senka mpa improvement Ghana for me kasa aban 11 he so bo modi je niam magic kakra bi no moto ma de se o betua Ghana for de ye niska de na so alisi pa hoto once we see say improvement eba no ye complain bebere woni Ghana ni ya de ate so no teacher ni ya de 19 conference na che se wo na ampeso betirase teacher for enyire bebere kakra bi anu be ka to asum no no aya adwuma kama enu ntimi srawo fa me sha ban say kufuado tua realistic prices in utilities we ma we mu da na entumi
yento asusa
me ka to say entumi because that be o man ohene they always say electricity na generate no ye ka say be tua to the amount say Ghana food tua say aba bran ma consideration about times 5 times 6
yentumi
ade awiase developed countries enfanto chacha utilities I don't know music cafe. You got it utility because you cannot do it kana almost sorry I brucha ka no at the end of the day I give 30-40% to utilities alone obeje because no there or no fan free yes you krom han say me yetimi ntuaka to the sense of you know man for say chinchina you tua bibiaka you develop way until the competition by electricity sector must say at said you know petroleum products na omani begu
okay
omani begu because obenya generators say asogri mo so o ma asogri kwan say o generate power no antoma consumer na director ebedu ba be no via begu
okay
you got it tikakakakra percentage ni nyam na meka bia mo but my higher homes so sa 148 na so ye the more na cry in the next one you almost solve problems in na mai enti ebetu akakra ne no ma solve na kakra
beda ase abono nkra pa ma aduo no okay what's Captain retired John Kwame Jabari and I would say Dennis Kokwa
omo tumba 148% manenka na tiefo hu nipa bone sama mo de ba power o betumi atua ka o da ka tiefo
na me dwen say me ka PDS one sem no Kaminya bede be bon one sem so
PDS
PDS say we lost $190 million investment. I know lawyer.
Maybe PDS was
Meaning PDS was
Millennium Challenge Authority. President Kofana Kofaba. Privatization of ECG. I dear John Mahama could have sorry them. Assemblies of God. On the food, it will never be other or no. So best start to initiate privatization of ECG. As of one channel, with me, Ghana, so food in any choice, Anton and no castle privatize it. And a process in a chassis also mobile they be privatization, a chassis selection of a company, the Druba Bino. They say, yeah, you say for process in my process, no, heavy. And so some conditions were set. Say, you found to one train implementation. You selected company. Company need to be satisfied certain conditions. Over to us, want to be unsatisfied, better truncate, and I say better terminate. And one I also take your time, take your time. Sabra no more produce electricity. But
the company collected monies from
Daniel. Collected on what? Or collector and power consumer here. It took us over years.
It's also the contract has been terminated. They have 200 million Ghana cedi in their account, which is for ECG. So why are they going for the money?
I don't know ECG there.
ECG handed over to them and they collected the money.
Hand over money. That's me take over your responsibility. And then I mean can buy all there.
You can
responsible for the year.
Okay, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you. Make a message Zaba and Yumbre, Messiah Abba Yumbre, Oshe Captain retired John Kwame Jabari, and I would say a Dennis Kwakwa. You know more drink Ghana who and Yumbre or punch Juma dear so or Kessben television and on Kessben a radio. What's the day? DJ Opal Dimon. Okay. DJ Opadimon from Kumasi Swami. Also, the difference between the NPP and the NDC in terms of criticism is that the NPP criticizes constructively, but the NDC have no facts. Propaganda and greetings to Chairman Odeneho Kwakuapia, Vice President Dr. Baumia, Lawyer Justin Kodua, Ghana Beye Nanabi, and my mentor Kwame NPP. Now, this one says, Teacher Kujo, Tepa Onyina Ususu says, I have for no North Constituency MPP Youth Organizer. Lawyer, thank you. I'll say thank you too. Ghana should adopt solar energy technologies to reduce cost of electricity tariffs in the country. Greetings to Honorable Eric Nana Ajiman Prempe, NADMO Director General, and Honorable Martina Apia Nyantechi, the MCE Ahafuano North Municipality. Now, this one says, good evening to you, lawyer. Please, I really need you to please ask our regional boss, Dennis Kwakwa, for us. What are they doing to NAPCO trainees? Jonathan from Takrade, doing to you as in then. Baroski from Aseswa says, in fact, Accra, please, football Now, let me review of the messages here and I'll come back to you at the studios. Lawyer, good evening to you. Nanado and Baumia Enya Tepa say a here for so ebedi esikafo sika so emfasobi. Enam E-Levy inti Sylvester from Kumasi. Well, Sylvester, you wanted to test me. I'm sure I've passed your test. This one is coming from Kofi. Please, now I beg, we don't need any tariffs in these hard times. This one says, good evening to you, lawyer. I like your program. I want to ask how much the government increases about full increment. Speaking from Denchira. Okay. Dina Kano, and no Besson, actually, I say, Bismia about. Also, bet me do I drink shows to see and was him beside but Jumadi, Senna Kano, and you bray, Mose, a member PRC for and granted, and as I want approval rate now. Once you see we hear rate, Babua, now the edges to see, expired charges. I from 1919 to 1920. Now we are in 2020. So gaps are better. Tini yan tiasie nantumwa unsatisfactory services and our day ebebraying. And on titi say ye share honso so eji. Enti ye kind same and you bray saying that ye kind watching shows here and was same besano at saying. Okay, so Captain Ewaha and Dennis Ewaha and I yet to have been at the side on the last issue that we're going to deal with about and on Chrome upon Sima Adunu and 9:26. We'll look at the E-Levy and then we'll be done with the program because we're closing at 10 o'clock, so we have about 30 minutes to go. Bishop same through her captain. E-Levy ashase. Utie GRA for us so far so good and yet bad. Sika eba they no to me 1 million Ghana cedis and I just say it's really working. Challenges so there, but Utie Minister of Finance or see challenges said and DC for music kai levy no. And yeah, they said the buy I implement ya hunwe. E-Levy in its implementation stage.
Who's a UT Kasana? Who's okay? E-Levy buy. Who's a Siciano? E-Levy abe say Akubam, which is going to solve all our problems. Even tariff increases, he was mentioning E-Levy in it. So when you say E-Levy, no jida ko tia tariffs in there, may maintain. When you mentioned, you talked about E-Levy. When you talking about this,
Tariff for the Abai Kazo Nebetia.
I was not getting the connotation of it. But Minya, fair. You say mathematics.
When you Usamoji levy boni triswa buy no juma.
No, I'm can't you mathematics. Let's say almost they are getting 1 million a day. So 1 million times 1 month a day, that's 30 million times 12 years. It's not up to the 6.5 billion forecast of Benyana. So where have you gone wrong?
It's not fair na chance.
You are fair na chance. More money chance.
It's a day or more to over 1 million.
Yes, but the mathematics that they went with the 11, it's not working.
And about our cancers is saying almost they are abano cry means say ombe CD ni obo cry ni project ye ni bebre. Jirari.
This government is not a government that has a track record of telling the truth. One way out to me judge a government has no intention of telling the truth to Ghanaians. Almost set some agenda. Then when they cannot even get the agenda, they now come and set another agenda. That's the agenda 111. Yet
maybe specific questions say. Oh, say answer na ebebano.
Yes.
Na NDC for Mama Yati say ba here for our Ghana or ye buja. And the ordinary people will be so much affected. And the problem beba a big good a year 1 hour mumu juma and all that. Question I may be said because no casano can say. And some muka defer E-Levy who as if say mununkum kasiebi and so soon as sha siena a year juma and ya is not a big deal. And I may be say send ya musi G E-Levy who and then no more who say ebia muhaha mweni. And then we Ghana for about E-Levy. Wabrekwa entisana.
They have been batch entisana. As some kind piano, it is coming to pass. Before the implementation of the E-Levy, the way they want to implement it, if they don't take the time to bring about problems, problems with the E-Levy about deductions once where some George Ekachom said the way they want to implement it and the preparation they have made, they have to face it a day before. Also the arrangement, now they can't go by how it's going to do. They have to do a face with. We have been reminding them, and we are always ahead of them. Now, someone said somebody 11 said when they start, there's going to be attrition. 11. Mimitia says it. Most of Mexico now money so it's a major issue. Because I mean fund somebody's luxury life. I've stopped using e-levy.
Why luxury life?
They are luxury life. Somebody is flying all over the world with private jet. Mimi ntimi kongo chia.
I don't need e-levy going.
Nasa only solution to Ghana be e-levy wasem. Hwe yet ase. Mimi si meja momo yisu. Se me send this kamawa. Me ko no vendor na we use kede from phone so. We am the money so patch or send my lawyer mama. Or no send more I'm not going to pay e-levy. Yes, because I cannot
tax avoidance.
Yes, tax avoidance. Yes, you are a lawyer. I'm not committing any crime. Yes, that's how
I don't show man by spirit because I mean to near the ABB now enjoy you have not been fair to me.
You see, Ghanaians are not people who don't like paying tax. Metia saying, when I was in service, I was paying tax. When I left, I still pay tax. But a tax component which is criminal in nature, I cannot help fund it. So if I can avoid it, I'll try as much as possible to avoid it. We pay a lot of taxes. Have you been able to account those taxes to us? They say, they say, no, you know what you told us before you came out to power? But I say, taxation was not good for our economy. It was hurting the economy because when you tax the people, you are taxing the poor. Now it's about kind so we need tax. Why have you changed the goalpost? So me, I don't believe in e-levy. Me, I don't think they'll use the money for what they are going to use it for. They are going to use it to solve their own problems. I don't believe them. Maybe I don't trust this political party. So I've stopped using Momo myself. So maybe I'll walk to the vendor or I'll send somebody that will go and send this money to this number. I've not broken any law because I will not fund somebody's luxury lifestyle. That is my personal stand. But the problem is that one, youth employment.
They start.
You start. Also, they're going to help with what infrastructure, whatever, and then they're going to use contractors. We are there every time. Be any new problem ever gonna be e-levy never solve it. Every new problem ever be e-levy never solve it. Meaning, because e-levy is going to solve our tariff problems. You can't believe these people. You can't trust them. Because they won't come and account those taxes to you. Yet here say NHIS is collapsing. Other agencies are collapsing. All of them are saying that they are waiting for e-levy. I don't know whether e-levy law, no, you can say those things will pay taxes and statutory funds. And I said it's not possible. I mean, catch you say a country cannot put all its economic hopes on one policy. It's not done anywhere. Say the whole Ghana, we have put our eggs in one basket. So should the case a basket in Pontica Crape, the country is doomed. That is where we are heading towards. So we have to look at other measures of reviving the economy. E-levy alone, is it going to stop us from borrowing? Why are we going to pay the statutory funds? Get fund. NAPCO, we can't pay them. Teacher trainings, we can't pay them. And everybody says e-levy. But in the e-levy law, they say they're using for only 3 things. So I don't believe these people because I know that they are not going to use the money for what they say they are going to use it for. But some people believe them. Those people should pay those taxes. I'm not committing any crimes. I mean committing a crime behind. But because I say we MP now MP membership card. Now send me there has one team from them pay money pa. Me I mean Jumundi.
Okay. Go.
Ohene.
Yeah, e-levy.
Oma we ohun. Somebody kaka. Se oni abotra. Yeti kromai. Telecom companies. And Vodafone, MTN, almost data, almost call charges. Almost to tumbe but I'm now so again and maybe I'm including Captain Tier on Fahon because company near British company to Omunyaska quite shade. Omunja they call Mukluma and Yashay into another all the same. So not even waste time to find out they send out to data and never try an answer at the on Fahon because company no and MPP company and MPP government into a quite on Fahon. And my better have my classic way to tell people not to pay tax We can't make Queen the mouse and the mammy mean to mumbo into a dear Yamma, I dear. Untia mumu, Tiamo and Sam Mano of the Mahama Beba power. The Mahama Beba. No cake. You got it. Nah, do. Tell me, say, ya the mumu, maybe to your tariffs. Some mamma can say, Mode, a court. Mark a ketia, a debia MPP, the Baba more manner to Pombia Mukitia. Oh, mano, before see a year estimate, na papa no yet mumu me boara. And here calculation who send the Paradora and Sicado first system, say never. Wonder what chess won't you be. And so he shouldn't expect us to reach the target because it's not a part of the calculation. And I don't know about Tibani yet. Because near Nimsi Benyama forward my to the stand say, so be Tracy Kama, the best more be a manafri, Kajetia, Aqua Tozu discaco movie, a brown am from. And Ted or kind of Messuman was Masu Piaca. And on Yana, because Keska consolidated funding, Tiana. It is a not charges, no, but the phones, we have 10 cities, no, but Pia over movie, 30 cities, and dropping my idea, Captain Siamo and Sam Mano. Or man will be matched in my age. Bossian Quan to me and Chichroman, see, do machi. Near Casa said, my dream of your mobile Sian Quire me for my will be Drubabino. Yen, I ain't yes, you can't Pierre Hoka. And no crack. But, and yeah, I want to so for to see Canada be a better chairman, or call US or UK, baby, I will be a man I feno. There's no plan, say, Monte comparable Samachi Romani, we are Piatas, Debbie. Or much a Joe, who can crack a class and a day, na fair. And when to set a gun for park compano, yes, he live in Bibayako, bet your contractors in Ibica. Minim says the air queen. Ohene, say I'm pass a lawyer in 1 million a day, for 30 days, I say, not 30 million. We are sure contractors no more your corner be a free corner. You bet me a free the 30 million more massacre started. Azumi says can be and for be a dema one. It be best started, madam say. Yanko Pona, oh dear, now Obama and check. Ghana for who and this year, Mamma for no say and pa. Or when you go, man, because Sikaka Crana, here for the betia, oh, Captain Zosikaye. Monfa, here for no Sunday 120 cities a day, 100 cities 200, no betia. There they are quite. Oh, Sasa said there. Oh, yes. Beso mom tia 120 150 no metua kakra kakra me de akekere to de onya ode afatu butom ehia for be kekere mana ma no ma se no se de bia mo be se no because momo de ka mo nkono na nka ye power ma bibia nkoso e de na ye nka health insurance wa betra ka wonim de ekoso health insurance e woka na no ya just last 2 weeks ye tua health insurance ka be de wante me bwa wante na 11 no kra ma ye tua before some more call opposition. Now health insurance will arrest in 14 months. 40 good months, John Mahama. The year 2016, or JVAT. I will swear, I know me. I did be a GNHI. 1 month claims are my health insurance providers. It took a Kufado to come and inherit. Now, my women, what dear friend and legacy them say, what be the DNT. Ubiama Mubonia, Ubuya, and I just Piaka. Inherit the debt and come and pay near their swan and crop for cost strike. No more share, no more crop for the pensions. 18 months and I draw Mahama DJ ya 1 pian crop for pensions and 1 pian demonstration. Health insurance and I draw Mahama DJ 12 months and 1 piano. Sana Mudia teacher for Chra de Ukruma 3 years, more 2 months. It took a Kufado to come and clear all those arrests. A pure pension for ABP, I must 1 year. But when him say, ya mama, like I said, or money a penny, but him to me in Dakro. And that's I'll still repeat it. You to me in Ghana heaven in 1 day, in 1 year. But Ghana fooling him say, "So never be a why a boy who the Ruka say by a bay and I'm seeing to me a bay a yebia mumu, Philly, and then Krabby be will invest here or 1 year school fees with free SHS and Fimi and San Epchamama. Now be a 2nd year. Crano 2nd year, or Mamma Cass and possible. I will Ghana Hana and no more 2nd year or tertiary institutions. And some of them are still enjoying government scholarship at the district level. Last year alone, we gave 60,000 scholarships to Ghanaian students in the tertiary. And yet possible, but Oko Sweden, Oko Norway, Oko Scandinavia, and no have been a coup for the Ghana that we want to create for Ghanaians. Eh, dear, most sorry, I'm quite enjoy and I'm better no croma. Namo says I had a many. Abroche na akwa na KPL levy and Kabaka Suntia. nka because one tua be chew okodi 1 week po betua and not Ghana ha kire kwan afa so levy be avoid obi ansua mo obi antua mo obi ansua oh that mo obi ansua so ya de o kire oman no you are building the nation in a very bad way o kire man for mo nsua no be gina be kan napco sika ye ntua ye napco sika no yan kwa bro kire ko bo siam fa metua yes obodo man tua tax o suma napco for yan ko bo siam metua mo trainees allowance meanwhile why o sorry ya wa retire you tua ka kese contribute more dey fa tua nuanom keto aka o te so menya adwuma ase wo ba avoid e yo de o kire ka ban de ye tua we ka ye to aka tua mu nketenkete ye o ka ye monyo so because we NDC ni a odweno ma we ho by avoiding tax megidi say menya ade ye legal bia na fata especially obi te so wa bobra aban wo so tua uska ye tua ne ka o ei ene onkratu ba na ka tua so e che mi nuan ma teacher for classroom obu kra chalk o chese teacher for tua tax enye momo no tua yi level no tua nurse for tua ono tua chese ade bia ahia ni betumi aya ba chichira boma ono mfa ho obasuma o munko na mun first ka we nkoto amame na o hu asem ne fe okwa me ye cash out no age no de amom merchant send mame tax no wo ho ntua na emum fee na ode ma MTN ode ma Vodafone no ode be cash no no atua multinational company on fan ko nukrum ko chechire ne man na ho nyefe no ntra Ghana kan kire se ye de ye ni mo mambu you get it I don't be free say ba bi adu no ye do level I say ye nyina ye dwene yi we have to think right ne make sure say ye metra fidie so nye ho say do Ghana for by trying to teach them the bad way am mum progress akufo ado amamu ya amamu a ahokyere abam ya amamu a ahokyere abam in the sense say we are seeing na de ahokyere aba obedi ade between 2017 besi 20 Ghana for hu said na amamu no te enema bebire ho ade aho high by ha na Ghana for boje so nanso say ye di wo na ene se bonyo no kakraba ye nyina se say tafre say tafre because free education e ba ye no ya anya ama party back home and wonim interestingly oh wama anya ne ye ebi betimi atua mebusa se wo na captain wo tie wo so betimi atua oba school fees wo betimi atua odun hia ni ba no wa musika na e free education e sika fo no mo man ko menya kro mo nyina wa bro musika o mo na tua tax and sometimes it takes obi a usuro nyame no de sika aba for de ahwe hiafo so wo ne hiafo an check kakra wa da atwom no betwo mu hia by attacking you and take away your wealth and nothing that be a party ye ba power ye see social intervention ye ma nipa nyina ho hia o se de ba yo mba ma sum dia ba man mu krono aneso ate enubone aneso ate emprewanyin san aneso ate bibia e be ma ne ma bone ama o ma we hu akwa ho hia ye nyimfiri ho and nothing mesre Ghana for e levy nya ade a penetrol obi enu ho petrol but minim say ne yes and de momo wi aye hwe charges e kwa aban futu de Ghana for hwe efira aban ho esesa aban tie no tie ne yi enya da bia na sika nyina aba de memi say yi levy ene special fund ni kwa se koto consolidated fund no kra menim how constitution na hyehyɛ saa de no ebi o han ka see setting aside na who say specifically e deal with this problem na Ghana for nyina who say visibly and pass o man no contribution ye no ye kan problem we na mpe solve ye mo ayo modern aban mo modern se sika we eni mani mo yan kakra problem ye present be ma ho ha high kakra ba nipa so no o man mera na nipa hu sa mpa ye pia no ye ntse captain mo ye na ye bo Ghana for be ko akopirichi a kire mo say ye bo ahiafo ye ni o mo ma ho kire kosoro no so mo ni o sa ade kire mo take decision mo hwe mo o na nyame amoa na so first vice no madam for bi ba ma campaign tiawo because they say the other one who saw do avoid tax. All of this is say region have madam for ba ko pe no ahwe or contest me campaign tia no and no na next fire me hu no crache ba me sure so akaso be ko ana obeko bi obade ya me tia but me sure say next week and na two ye be ba no asese 100 na tua yi levy o ma me evidence o your man papa we all go out and campaign for you.
Okay, abono nkrapa on sima aduanan na our punch jumadi so our Kessben television. We're also live on Kessben radio. We're live on Facebook. And we're also live on YouTube. Captain retired John Kwame Jabari Ewoha Enyumbre for the NDC. Dennis Kwakwa, Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer, is here for the new Patriotic party yɛdwe Ghana ho enwumbre captain
hwɛ na mpɛ sɛ bisa youth ho asɛm bi hwɛ free SHS the contractors for car get fund the car NHIS the car teacher training allowance the car nurses training allowance the car capitation grant the car na e-levy imrano HSA yefa e-levy nye say adwuma no na e-levy no lawyer intia say no mo ka some dey threats some dey threat also the youth unemployment you are going to pay road contractors and you are going to use to develop infrastructure well a year making nan is it part of it you see that's why I'm saying that this book will confirm you say you had military allowance so I can't see me jail me no because this book cannot be able to just
misapplication of funds
that's what they said that's what the law e-levy law they say those are the areas that
consolidated fund as consolidated fund yeah boy is can you now go there back about na chebe release
but what's that consolidated fund
say no mr application of father e ka do mahama jeje pension sika one pia no kan yanche no
say yeah normally John
no I'm just argument I want to open your mind and management na e be to photo was 11 to teachers training allowance
na 11 official the coach teachers
I just want so chira say nya 11 na edos na etua contractors kana ye nika na akoya employment na ko tie ndimi to bi e mo bi betena ntu futuro mu obi because obi so intention bi odi tua ne say ne be nya adwuma aye ne be allowance be ba
okay
what I say ni mra biam so de ya ba ya wotia mra
you've been come as
it is meant for specific purpose
I don't say develop
and it will be applied for that purpose
yes
okay
all things being equal be for
the only MPP for Equa Agridia also nya about 10 contingencies because some bobuga me catch you say almost say on by 3 things me microphone you need part whether that say asa on waka no omundi so because they have a total lot of track record say ade omo can no they will change their mouth later on omo can say e-levy they will not try to collect loans and check and almost as oh say betimi na say we ska on betimi dia e betimi dia je busa kakra these people are not people you can trust me trano e my me fund
so about collateralization of is it wrong
when you
any prudent strategic measure
good
to get money.
Let me give you one example you will get fund on get fund anka school essay na school adan kete it's net it utia tax na they go straight near there where you dey sa get fund akokochi bosia over a certain period na sikana ba you don't know what they use the money for
to go schools no o read them ko so
and then all these schools school ban
go to daba
where's the school
free akokwada so St. Peters
what is this so they collectize the money misuse the money and then we are there just paying debts that we don't know what the funds are being used for.
What's the role of parliament?
What's the role of what?
Parliament.
Wow. We call this book out, say.
Wow.
Wanted to do an audit on this COVID-19 funds. They raised strongly against it. If you don't have anything to hide, why will you call against
you prevent audit to Ghana?
No.
All the time general we bet we are preventing so more you say there be asamba na can be di oko jaba just be buy accounts Ghana you need to have your account all the service go majuma na
they can see a toast spot
just one this mathematics
punch na wasungu so awuti punch na wo share our Kessben television wo sign eti our Kessben radio Reverend, you need a favor from Reverend Obi. Okay. Marital breakthrough. Okay. May God guide you. Reverend Obi. We by extension. We're wrong destination because we've been paying there. Single malt no block quite a heavy drew not check. A land property rate tax is also in the system. Why is NDC not talking about that? Mahama will not come to power to repeal a levy. This one is coming from Wachapa. Okay. This one says NDC will never repeal a levy. Their government will also need money to develop Ghana. It is a big scam to deceive us. Let's watch out. NDC is simply a party of no ideas for progressive nation building. My advice to Ghanaians regarding NDC campaign is to shun or keep your distance from them and never vote for any NDC candidate. This one says, Jimmy from Obuase, lawyer, thank you. I say thank you to production of biodiesel locally from Nkrandedria will help the nation to reduce the petrol of petroleum. The problem of petroleum increases. Nkrandedria, that's a very wonderful suggestion. And also, Papa, a Professor Frimpong, Frimpong Batting, say, Nkrandedria, okay. Please, good evening to you. I like your program. I want you to tell the TUC that they should tell ECG should capture those who have meters. We've give them bills since 2014 up to date. Example, Dunkwao District, Ponkso area, and Poku Krom area. If ECG give them bills and they can get 148%, then okay. Or say ECG baby or for since 2014 or more for meter cranko ekobobia or mutimi increment they deserve it. Are we in Ghana when it comes to salary increment 4% and 7%? There comes Russia and Ukraine war, but lorry fare, water and electricity increment. Agri chairman or denoho kwakuapia. Coca, I care. I am Sir Prince. Okay. Teacher Kujo Tepa Anyina Ususo says NDC will never repeal a levy. Okay, I'm sure I've read this one somewhere. Now, Oyibo Boateng from Achema Nyerebehi. E-levy will provide more jobs, roles and jobs, so let's exercise patience. Greetings to Mr. Isaac Osei Kwating, incoming MPP, Ashanti Regional Treasurer. Okay, I hear you. Now, we have about 7 minutes to go. So, main call Captain Horner, we have about 7 minutes. What it means is that I can give you about 2.5 minutes. I'll give him 2.5 minutes, and I'll use the 1.5 minutes or so. It's even less with 6 minutes. So I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes, and I'll keep the 2 minutes. Your last submission for the
lawyer. As the last submission there, I'll not go to any of the issues that we are talking about, but I want to talk about my party, the NDC. Recently, we reorganization into internal elections. I think we are starting ours from next month. That's in June, and by 27th of this month, we're opening nomination for new members. We catch Asante Mine Ghana Food now say. Now the most attractive party in Ghana now ye be membership. Into a catch Ghana for now say co branch bia will be any NDC office bia nekoko join the NDC today. Now if you join the NDC today, you won't regret it at all, because we need the numbers to push this government out. Now government way mama some Ghana ni bia. So I'll urge Ghana for now say NDC. Yeah, opinion they're making our forms available. Or what person joining NDC no? Ubeti ma frame, ubeti ma ko any party branch bia ho bia no. membership in 2 cities. Yeah, boy, yeah, they say, in your no 2 cities. Lawyer, me ankasa me de bi also people come meet me bro. Bro. So all Kessben members who wants to join the NDC, we are calling all of them to come and join them. So that's what I have for this. Maybe youth club, maybe youth now. That's the most attractive political party now in Ghana now. Oh, it's true. Nankofa from NDC membership card. Share messages abenya. Oh, tambe na mubie na meso. Kofo na membership card.
You have 2 minutes. Kwakwa 2 minutes.
Then nipa tu aguso no. Woni dia otonya da age nya nkopa e mo hyew. Ade aduane mu nipa aguso grant me serve mo. It is the most attractive nipa from. There be nipa from mo kra mo nya card be mfa ma so abetra ya advert microphone ma dinya me ho. Lawyer, so far so good. Campaign for chairman won't me. Baby, a general after 8 years in government, party be no Ghana for friends were there. And so all your strategies, I saw who said what is opposition pepe. And this is the time, so won't me. I'm gonna grow. When you're in, this is the time I hear experience and expertise to break the 8. Said the TBR, many so be chairman 8 years and all the struggle for. But no soon to be a better. The Jai experience in Nea Kukudu, he's so charismatic, or no Ankasano, you the metrodom. And until delegates are back, they said almost everybody is in place apart from one constituency. The best, starting years, don't let anybody dictate to you who should be our next chairman. The first now walk room and enemy near Kotwaba. Joseph Yami Maka Kabensem, Obi beto half, Obi beto quarter, Ibin to be ampaso. Registration do an amotus and Kruma necessary registration kits. They do say to about ballot papers, ballot but necessary. For the past 2 consecutive elections, I had to Krumagana for Asante Mayan people for Munina we are dancing for. I believe Sena Kuku Druno, a ye be my Nunti, young Cosonian Twanason, I did wound to me, every time I break 8 Tamanaye, Medasipi.
Mr. Medasi, that all monitor messages in the day. Messages about now.
Yes. My own didn't interesting.
Oh, some me disab.
No, messages only didn't interesting.
Oh, me say.
Only didn't interesting. Only didn't interesting.
I ask you a very simple
Bible was OJ or something.
Why you there? Why you there? Okay, so anyway, what's the empanyi for mienu ba jumadi so ya to adwen e dey fa o man Ghana ho megiri said the debate as to the percentage realistic was yedema Ghana Water Company Limited and Electricity Company of Ghana and allied service providers. Let's make a dispassionate discussion of it. At the end of the day, increments obit me ama once so wamayen constant and quality service I deserve. Enkofa burden kesi bia enso embra because buono so tumunu kopia and also be disincentive for people to even pay. Said the amount for P Eddie one I've chair won so see a buy and the better was I see enyumbre. Yet that 1 hour she said Jumadi and so as I say. What did Jumadi Ebra enyumbre? 1 hour produce Jumadi yet that one say. Captain John Kwame Jabari retired as NDC vice chairman hopeful sometime in October when nominations are open for the NDC in Ashanti region. Dennis Kwakwa is the regional youth organizer of the new Patriotic Party Wutenenka Enyumbre. Wana was Sunday message na yadama so mo messages so about unfortunately no time constraints into me kanyina so say yadama so mfa enche ye bre no ai be meeting e de Ohene Jama kram nyankopon ya adoma na wo twese ne e besia ba ya be som e wo punch juma